My thoughts in general about having access to guns is that it's too easy. I feel there should be stricter rules. I feel that there should be more penalties for those who have guns illegally. Um, I'm not against guns, period. I think that if you go through the proper channels and that you get a gun, then I think that you should be able to have it in your home or on your person if you go through the required classes.
92% of Americans, like 92% of people, do not agree on anything. But 92% of Americans, so that is gun owners, non-gun owners, Republicans, Democrats, agree that we need universal background checks. And what that is every single time a gun is sold, whether it's individually, whether it's through a store, there has to be a background check.
When I go into schools, and the first thing I do, we do this standing survey. And we ask students, how many of you have been involved, like have lost someone to gun violence? Most of the class raises their hand. How many of you all have recently heard something in the news about gun violence? Everybody raises their hand. How many of you all know where you can get a gun right now? Most of them raise their hand.
Youth shouldn't even have any access to guns at any point. They're gonna give them anyway by just being on the streets, by older people giving it to them. But I feel that they should be taught at a younger age by their parents or who's ever in control of them or whoever's in charge of them at the time. They should at least let them know that guns are violent. Guns kill people. Even if you think you're having it for protection, you may have to use that gun, and if you have to realize, oh, someone can take it from you and use that same gun against you.
Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which is ATF, who licenses them, only can get to 10% of them a year. And to put in perspective how many we have in Illinois, we have more licensed firearm dealers in Illinois than we do McDonald's.
Nowadays, these youth are being killed and they're not coming back, and they're affecting the community. It's making some of the people who maybe never would have been involved with guns, now they feel that they need to get one, or I gotta have one because my brother got killed, or my sister, or someone else got killed.
Common sense isn't common anymore, and it's an ugly reality.
So trying to find measures that will get them off our streets to make sure they don't end up in the wrong people's hands.
Everyone, I hate to say everyone cannot be saved, but there are a lot of children out here who can be saved, and they're looking for someone to actually just guide them, or someone to give them an out or show them a different way from what they're living. A lot of times I've seen that if someone has taken a kid, a youth, or put them in a different environment or put them in a different place, a lot of times that kids change.
My prayer is just that the community begins to wake up, and really take action, because we can't depend on the government. We can't depend on the mayor. We can't depend on the police. It's the community as a whole that needs to take action. We gotta be more action and less talk.
We're always listening, trying to learn more, trying to figure out what best ways we can help you in your communities and give youth that voice and opportunities that every child deserves. And especially, I find so disheartening is when we work with youth and them telling us, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to my 18th birthday. That's really, really disheartening.
Some of the kids, that's just the way that they want, that's the way that they feel that they have to leave. A lot of kids will tell me, I'm not gonna live to be 18 anywhere. I'm not gonna live to be this old. So even after talking to them, even after trying to do something to show them a way to, even after telling them that this happened to this kid before and I've seen the same thing, a lot of them still want to do it on their own and learn on their own.
And a lot of it's just because they're scared.
It's so embedded in their mind and in their reality that you just have to just make sure you give them as much information as you can on how to prevent gun violence. And I wish more people would be tired as much as I am. And if I see something happening where someone has a gun and is getting ready to shoot, I'm to the point where I would do whatever it takes. I would jump in front of it, because it's too much. And I just wish everybody would be tired. I don't live in an area where I hear it every night. I don't live where I know people who are constantly being killed. But I'm tired. It's people who live in the area, hear gunshots, hear ambulance, hear all that, but they don't do anything. They don't say anything. They don't want to tell who did it. And that's upsetting. I can go home and go to sleep at night. I don't have to worry about it. But it's people who live in it. But yet, they don't do anything about it. They talk about it, they make t-shirts, they go to visuals and they pray, but that's it.
First of all, they need to check their mind, get their mind right, because they mess with narcotics. The average young guy, he 12, 13 years old, he's smoking marijuana, dropping pills. Once we get that out the way, we could do some things with our youth.
You could try to figure out another way, talk to an adult or try to mediate some kind of way. By you talking to them, you may be able to help them. You might tell them that, look, I know you upset with whoever the case is, but it's not that serious. Or if it's that serious to you, can you talk to someone else, talk to someone about it and find out if there's another solution?
You gotta understand what not to do and what to do. And what not to do is being violent.
Just try to find a way to stop everything that's going on before it happens.
It's a double-edged sword here because on one hand, people don't trust the police, and that's a valid reason. And on the other hand, it's like they're so used to that environment. You know, they grew up in that environment. They don't know anything different. You know, grandmas are getting younger, so they don't have that strong presence. Fatherlessness, there is no fathers there. They're all incarcerated or something. Education, there's a lack of that in schools. People are not being educated. People don't know what's real anymore. You know, so I think everybody has an involvement of what's going on. I don't want to put the blame on the people who just live in the community, but you know, like I said, when is everybody going to get tired? You know, when is it going to really strike them like, okay, I don't like my kids having to run to school every day because of gang territory or where and where not to cross.